Go for it.
Oh, yeah. 5 pre-rolls today, starting with Prize Picks. Prize Picks really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Go to prizepicks.com/JRVP. Use the code JRVP for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/JRVP. Use the code JRVP for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. With Hims, you can get access to medications to ensure your erectile dysfunction gets treated so you can keep the confidence going all day and night. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/JRVP. That's HIMS.com/JRVP for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/JRVP. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. I also want you to stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/JRVP. That's rocketmoney.com/JRVP. rocketmoney.com/JRVP. I like when they repeat it like that. I also like exploring coverage. Your pet is one of a kind, and so is their journey. That's why you should check out ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independent American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Finally, the show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. I already got a soulmate. It's Anthony. Visit BetterHelp.com/JRVP to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JRVP. 5 pre-rolls, stretching the bounds of decency, like our conversations about Valentine's Day cards, body counts, and a possible new podcast name, all coming up in episode 236 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project. JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
A lot of people tell me I look like Megan Fox. All right, you nailed the pre-rolls. Nailed them.
That's right.
I hit the ground running, flew right through them, and then you fucked me on the JRVP.
I don't know why I thought after 236 episodes that I would try to change up the cadence, give a little different emphasis. It didn't make sense. I apologize, but I know where that quote is from because I've been watching Love is Blind season 6, waiting for those last few episodes to come out.
I do not like Love is Blind. I tried to watch last season and truly hated it.
That was the worst season I've seen.
And I got in late. I didn't watch the beginning. And this time Liz was like, please watch it with me. I'll rewatch the beginning of it with you so that you can get into it for the final stretch. And I hate it. I still hate it. It truly feels like in a way that other reality TV doesn't, that I'm like it's a true time suck. And none of these people belong together. But the Megan Fox girl really cracked me up.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying her.
She's kind of the worst. I get it. I mean, she if she told me in real life that she was like Megan Fox's second cousin or something, I was like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that. Now, there's like different variations of it.
It was set up for me in a way that this girl who looks nothing like Megan Fox is claiming to look like Megan Fox. And then when I saw it, I was like, it's actually better for her the way it comes out. It's not that bad. We don't need to talk about this anymore. I'm wearing sunglasses today. Go onto the YouTube and see me in sunglasses. I haven't worn sunglasses in over a year on the podcast. It's been a day for old Jez. Now, eagle-eared listeners of the pod will know that last week I had said that today I was taking Rummy to the vet for the 3rd time, trying to get him there. I had new medications. I had new everything. I was ready for this. I was ready for today. I went to bed early last night because I'm like, I've got to take him there. I got to get him there by like 10:15. I want to get him walked out. I got to get him the meds, make sure he's passed out, get him there. I set my alarm for 7:30 in the morning, and I go to bed at midnight. Exactly. I'm like, I'm in this. I jump out of bed at 5 in the morning with food poisoning. and I have been sitting. I've been asked to porcelain for a good chunk of the day, except for when I have been walking Rummy around the neighborhood to tire him out, except for when I've been standing in a vet's office with my terrified dog shaking in my arms. Got him to the vet, got him through most of it. There was one vaccine they couldn't give him because he was like, no, he's over it now, and they couldn't do the blood work, but we got him to the vet. But I'm not having a good day. It's like that. It's that food poisoning where it's all out the one end. So like my voice is okay. I'm not throwing up, but I'm not happy.
How do you know that's what it is?
Because I woke up and I was like, Liz, the craziest thing happened to me this morning. She was like, it happened to me at 3 a.m. We don't know what we ate, but...
What if it's like it could just be like a virus?
It's very possible, but I feel great except for the fact that I have to be near a bathroom. And I would have canceled the podcast today. Except Greg said, well, what about the Patreon episode we do right after it? And I said, oh, I forgot about the real money. 5 pre-rolls is a drop in the bucket. 5 pre-rolls is what we tip Aaron on the way out the door. The Patreon is where the money is. That's where the entertainment is. That's where the effort lies. You want to hear the full story of taking Rummy to the vet? With my diarrhea described in detail? Then you got to go to that Patreon, my friend. You got to sign up.
And so that results in sunglasses.
Yeah, I truly, I could not feel worse, but I'm okay. So I was just like, you know what? Today's going to be a sunglasses day. I can pull it off. Last weekend, I did Norfolk, Virginia, and Charlotte, North Carolina. No free porn in both those states. You go to that state, you try to dial up YouPorn. Is it Pornhub? Yeah, you try to dial up Pornhub. You're in for a nasty surprise.
Both
states.
Existing
I finally I left Virginia and I was like, oh, thank God. And it was like, nope. Virginia, North Carolina, they got things in common, and it's no free porn.
Wow. So, what about if you do it on incognito mode?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
I'm joking. Like, you're on Google Chrome and there's like a mode you can use so that your search history, can't be looked at by other people using the computer. But it wouldn't really solve. I don't think it would really get around that. It doesn't solve all of life's ills. We wish it would. I was like, okay, I don't want porn. I'll just beat up a housekeeper. That Liz wasn't with me this weekend. That's how I got through it. It's fine. Shows were great. Charlotte, it was weird. My parents came to Charlotte, but we only got to talk for like 20 minutes before the show. They were like, we got to leave. We got people with us who got to go home. And I had a meeting with my production team and new director for the special afterwards. So I got to see him for a few minutes, and I'd just seen him last weekend, at the wedding. But it's still weird to have your parents come backstage in Charlotte, see him for 20 minutes, and that's the end of it. But what did they think about the lack of free porn in the state?
My dad came in hot. My dad was furious. My mom was okay. My mom travels with her porn. She's never got to even look at the phone. But my dad is heavily reliant. I'm like, Dad, if there's ever like a power outage, what are you going to do? What if you don't have your phone and there's no housekeeper nearby? What are you going to do?
Physical media is not dead.
Right.
Thank you, Aaron.
You bring the VHS tape, VCR, the connectors. They must have noticed, though, with you, like, wow, Anthony was so much more pleasant last week at the wedding than he is this week. And
they kept asking, like, what's wrong with your knuckles? What's wrong with your knuckles? That's what they kept saying to me. But no, it was a fun weekend. And then this weekend, I'm going to Canada. I've got London, Ontario, Hamilton, and Toronto, which I'm very much looking forward to. 5 shows in 3 nights, and then I get a week off, which will be nice. But we're coming to the end game. And Aaron, where's end game?
At the end.
Aaron?
Oh.
Point me in the direction, would you please?
Towards Milwaukee.
That's right. Everything's lining up. I'm
excited.
Have
an international tour, perhaps after Milwaukee.
Definitely an international tour for sure. But that is, I got to worry about how I'm looking. I got to figure out my wardrobe. Things are coming together. But I'm excited. But I'm seeing the weekends disappear and lead where, Aaron?
Towards Milwaukee.
Towards Milwaukee.
I give you credit though. These, it's not easy being on the road every weekend like that. It took It took 45 years, but now I give you credit.
I would give anything to go to one city a weekend, like you do. I
don't do anything. I did one Super Bowl trip for 6 nights in Vegas, and that felt like I needed a solid 2 weeks to recover from. Just to like, I didn't want to go far places the next weekends like we were planning, just because like, I just did that. It's too much.
Yeah, the time difference, the time jump to East Coast was a kick in the dick.
Then again, I have 2 kids I take care of, whereas that's like equivalent to 16 dogs or something with your old math.
Your math is so off. It's equal to half a dog.
Although, as Emeka has pointed out recently, and this is so embarrassing, I shouldn't say it on the podcast, but she has never
had orgasm.
She has never left me alone with the kids for like a night. She's never gone on vacation and like left the kids with me ever.
Do you think it's like
that would be less embarrassing? Do you think
she's afraid of what would happen? What do you mean she's never left the kids with you?
It's literally never happened. Because she was bringing up, I'm going to Austin for my other podcast, for South by Southwest. It's related to my other podcast in March or whatever. And she was like, oh, that's another, couple nights. Just you're leaving me here. Like you never do that with me. I was like, I've told her, go to Japan, go do stuff, do whatever. I got him for a week. I can do it, but it's never actually happened. And then she did bring up, but she wants to go to Seoul this summer from Tokyo. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, you can't go without me. I want to go to Seoul.
Yeah,
I want to go with you. The 2 of us should go.
When are you going to go?
Go from this summer.
I want to go
from Tokyo. It's like, I want to go. You can't go there. I mean, she's like, you're not letting me go there. He was like, well, yeah, the Seoul is somewhere cool.
Yeah, so
we're just right
cool.
there.
Yeah, she can go hang out with her fucking in-laws on her own. Let her do that. Yeah, you want to be in Seoul. That was worth that story. Anything else, Aaron? Do you got anything from the week?
Seoul, great airport.
That wasn't the story.
My wife did go. She went to Vegas with her sister and saw Adele.
Oh, so you've been left alone with your kids?
Yeah.
Your wife
I had her the whole weekend. Yeah.
Aaron got cheated on. You 100% got cheated on.
No.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I mean, I guess when you got the milk at home, why pour milk all over yourself when you're in Vegas?
Exactly.
Yeah. And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes? That makes sense.
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
You really flew through that. You didn't ask me how my week was.
I thought that was you. I thought you
that
were
was
like,
it. No, that was just
talking.
conversation. We were having conversation.
Go ahead and talk. Listen, please. I would like to get out of here ASAP, but please let me know.
If you have to run to the bathroom during the show, it'd be good practice for the Europe episodes.
I'm not going to shit myself because I don't want to interrupt continuity. I will get up if I have to.
Okay.
But I think I can make it. If I thought there was a chance of me shitting myself on the podcast, I would not have come to the podcast.
I would think it'd be a great episode after so many. It'd be like, when they killed off Diane or whatever happened in Cheers. You know what I mean?
I remember when they killed Diane, people were stunned.
Wait, did they kill her?
They were stunned.
What did they do with her? Yeah, they killed her.
And then there was like, you had a season to figure out which one killed them. And at the end, it was Coach. Coach killed her. And he paid for it. Yeah. Paid for it with his life.
Suicide.
I did want to mention, I went to a concert last night. I may be getting too old to be going to like concerts at bars. It was at the Troubadour, not a bar, but a small club at the Troubadour last night. Saw Snail Mail. She was great with my friend Evan. But I did want to mention to you, he came into the house to say hi to the family as he was coming over before we went. And Walker saw him and he was like, "Oh, why is Anthony here?" And I just wanted to point that out to you, that maybe you're not doing your godfatherly duties, that from across the room he mistook Evan for you, just like a bearded white guy. They all look the same.
Evan's tall and he's rich. I don't mind being mistaken for Evan.
Okay.
If Dave walks up and he's like, "Hey, Anthony's here," you let me know right away.
Well, he's taller.
And I'll be there.
He's taller.
He's too tall.
Okay. That was it. I just thought you would want to know that.
You thought you
his
just
godfather.
I listen. I miss my godkids, and I got more nieces and nephews coming. These kids are coming at me. They're coming at me fast. Okay, when I chose not to have children, I expected to not have to deal with any of this, and now here I am, staring mortality in the face.
My kids are getting older though, to the point where I immediately pointed out, all right, take a closer look. Come a little, like who is this? He had just seen Evan like a month ago. Who is this? And he said you figured it out. But he continued to call him Anthony for the rest of the trip. So that's a good sign of a comedic mind at play.
That must have been the best day of Evan's life. Evan got to role play and see how the big dogs do it.
So where are we? Did we get any notes?
Yeah,
I do have notes. I have many notes. First of all, we have a winner in the blind date competition. And Riley Jones, if our listeners remember, was looking for a date to Anthony's show. Now, the show's going to be in 2 days. Riley, if you're listening to this, hopefully you've read my email, which I'm going to send right after the show because I totally forgot to do it otherwise. So hopefully this actually comes together in time. But she emailed us this week. She says, can't thank you enough for taking the time to find such great candidates. Thank you so much to all the single guys who sent a submission, but I can't help but feel that 2 babes are better than 1. Mac was a very close runner-up. She's letting him down gently with a capital very, but I'd love to give Sarah the seat. The Donnie Wahlberg photo makes me think she's got some great stories, and as a bonus, she could hook us up with some great parking. So she told me to pass along the email, and the 2 ladies are going to go. Maybe they'll find love.
Nice. Sorry, Aaron.
I wasn't.
Sorry, buddy.
I wasn't part of this.
Aaron wanted it real bad.
Mac wanted it bad.
Mac was a nice guy. He was like, hey, if you're looking for just a nice guy, I'm the guy. She wanted a girl's night out.
Okay.
And she gets it. And I'm happy with this choice.
Okay. And if you are longtime listeners of the show, you'll remember a contest we started years ago looking for submissions for what Aaron actually looks like. And we've delayed it week after week. And this is the week we're going to look at the submissions.
Thought about delaying it again.
Yeah.
How many do we have?
We might be delaying it because I don't know if Aaron remembered, that we're doing this. We've got a number of pictures, and this is a great
8
inspiration to look at the YouTube and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. Now, we're gonna look at these here. You can see them on the YouTube, but if you go to the Patreon, we will masturbate to the pictures, and whichever one we finish on will be the winner. So we'll declare that on the Patreon, which you have to be subscribed to see.
All right,
Aaron,
let's go through them. We're gonna do this rapid fire.
Let's rip through these bitches.
But I'm excited about it. Anthony might shit himself by picture 5, so we'll have to go quickly.
Okay. So these are 2 different ones.
Yeah, these are 2 different ones. We'll look at 2 at once.
Okay, the one on the left is from I Think You Should Leave. It is a great. I look at that and I'm like, maybe that's my next tattoo.
It's just an oval, essentially.
It's the oval that
with
lays
some
eggs.
eyes. Yeah.
And then the one on the right is a Shrek Aaron, which is like pretty good.
Yeah, I gotta say, without having seen Aaron, Shrek Aaron is the leader in the clubhouse. I know it's only 2, but I've actually seen all 8, and it's a strong contender. It's a finalist.
I'll tell you
right
what
now.
is that Aaron does not wear glasses, so I'm gonna dock him for that. But he did nail the vest and the ears.
And then like a Shrek-like vibe, just as a human. All right, let's move on.
Calling everybody donkey.
To the next candidates, 3 and 4. They're both
we got
naked.
Dick Butt. We got Dick Butt, which is a famous thing that Greg doesn't know about. And then on the other one, we've got kind of a shaggy-looking JRVP. He looks like Rugrats, Aaron. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and call him. He looks like the dad on Rugrats. That's a good Aaron. That's a generous Aaron. And
Wait, which is the generous one? The naked one with the tattoo, and he's producing the show, and he's in. Look, no wonder Mrs. Aaron, wasn't cheating. The milk was at home. That Aaron's hooking her up.
Use what Greg just said as the clip. Use what Greg just did. Use what Greg just puked into a microphone as the social media. All right, those are good.
All right, next 2. we're listening to. Again, this is an audio medium. It is a picture of Aaron looking a lot like Kevin Smith.
It's a Kevin Smith Aaron. I've met many podcast producers who look like this, but that's not our Aaron.
No,
but it's a good drawing.
Steve Burrows, good job. We'll give you a pop there, Steve, but it doesn't look like Aaron.
Enjoy the pop.
I mean, that's all anyone wants is to get mentioned. 2 more mentions.
Okay, on the left is Aaron of Christmas Future. On the left, I mean, Aaron's staring down that at some point in his life.
Losing his hair, looking unhappy, looking like someone that's part of our headlines with like a sexual misconduct.
He's wearing cutoff shorts, belted with a belt buckle that is SMDA. Suck My Dick America.
That's great. That is the kind of detail that only Aaron
that's
could think
a finalist.
of.
We'll give a finalist.
And then on the right, we've got hippie Aaron. We've got something bad happens to Aaron that he doesn't talk about, but he wears a bucket hat and he walks around the country growing his beard and planting apple trees.
Yeah, hippie Santa Aaron. Nice drawing. Doesn't look like Aaron.
Yeah.
And then I guess we're
last
wrapping
one is
it up.
more of a photo submission.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is great. Yeah. This guy, who is this guy?
He's a commercial actor.
Yeah, he was on Severance as well.
Okay.
He might not be a comedian. I made that up. He just seems like he would be. He's an actor.
That looks like if Aaron and a black woman had a baby, that would be the baby.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Aaron. Which one is your favorite?
The Shrek one really made me laugh out loud.
I think the Shrek ones are winner because we can easily name it too. It's the Shrek one.
But it kind of cheated because when you see Shrek, you're already laughing.
That's true.
You know, you start to think about Shrek 1, 2, 3. Was there a 4th?
Yeah,
probably.
There was.
I hope so. I hope there was. Give me something to do tonight when I go home and sit down.
We'll give it to maybe if you're not feeling the Shrek one, then we'll give it to Aaron.
I'm feeling the Shrek one. I'm feeling the Shrek one. Listen, they were all great, but we can go ahead and give it to Shrek if you like.
Okay, you're the winner. I don't know I don't even remember
you got nothing. You got nothing this time.
You'll like it.
Were there any other things we could talk about during Did We Get Any Notes?
No.
Just pictures. Okay, yeah, and we're going to be doing some double episodes in May and June, so we fill them out while I'm on the road. Send in mailbag questions. We'd love those. We might do a mailbag episode. We're probably going to do some like heavier mailbags in the extra episodes. So get those questions in. Fucking do it for me. I've had a hard day, and all I want are questions. And that was, did we get any notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
And now it's time for
Ad copy.
That's right. It's ad copy. Look, you want to have better sex, but ED's getting in the way?
You know it.
Erectile dysfunction? You're not alone. Anthony's not alone. Millions of men deal with the hardships of ED. With Hims, there's a simpler, affordable way to get treated for ED. You can get your groove back in the bedroom at a cost that you desire. Look, there's nothing worse than being a confident man like Anthony in every aspect of life, and then you know when you get to the bedroom, you're not going to be able to deliver. That's where Hims comes in. That's not the worst?
There's nothing worse. That's where I live. That's my address.
No insurance is needed. You pay one low price for your treatments, your online visits, ongoing shipments, and provider messaging. The process is simple. It's 100% online, no uncomfortable doctor's visits. They provide clinically proven generic alternatives to Viagra and Cialis, up to 95% cheaper, with options as low as $2 per dose. They're changing the game. They have hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers. That's Hims. So if ED's getting you down, it's time to change that. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/JRVP. That's HIMS.com/JRVP for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/JRVP. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if it's appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription is required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan. Been hearing about Rocket Money lately. If I asked you, Anthony, like how many subscriptions you have, like would you be able to list them and how money you're paying?
No, and I'm sure I have some that I've just like let go that I've never used.
You don't know anything. If you had asked me this question before I had started with Rocket Money, I would have said yes, but I was wrong. I have a ton of subscriptions. There was a handful of them that I didn't have any idea about. I couldn't believe all the money I was wasting. That's where Rocket Money comes in. They help you find out what subscriptions you're actually spending money on. It's eye-opening. You can cancel the ones you didn't want anymore. You subscribed forever ago, like Showtime or whatever. Oh, I gotta see that show with Emmy Rossum. I love Emmy Rossum.
Shameless.
William H. Macy. Love it.
Shameless.
The show with Emmy Rossum. Shameless. They're all living together.
The Curse was good. People slept on
and
the
then
Curse.
I forgot about it. And it's been going on for years. That's where Rocket Money comes in. But they can do more than that. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds canceled your unwanted subscription. It also monitors your spending, helps lower your bills. You can cancel things with the tap. They even help get you a refund for the last couple of months of wasted money, renegotiate lower bills for you by up to 20%. All you have to do is take a picture of your bill. Rocket Money takes care of the rest. Rocket Money has over 5 million users. They've helped save its members an average of $720 per year with over 500 million in canceled subscriptions. Rocket Money, they'll also let you know. Netflix, for instance, I read this. They're raising their subscription price again, but probably everyone's not on Twitter and reading that news. Rocket Money will tell you when they raise it, and they can even maybe renegotiate the raise for you. All this stuff is negotiable. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/JRVP. That's rocketmoney.com/JRVP. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions. That's rocketmoney.com/JRVP. Rocketmoney.com/JRVP. I'm just going to keep saying it. Now we're going to get to the portion of ad copy where we talk about our pets. You were at the office with Rummy. He means everything to you. I've never seen Anthony be in love with anything as much as he's in love with Rummy. Makes me feel inferior. Same with my godfather child, Walker. I've got Nori. I love Nori. I would do anything for Nori. Your pet is one of a kind, so is their journey. With every playful moment is a memory in the making. Sometimes our cats, our dogs, our tortoises are a little too good at getting into trouble, and that's why you should check out ASPCA, Pet Health Insurance. If you're getting a new pet soon, I mean, you need to think about the necessities, food, toys, and a bed. You might not be thinking about pet insurance. That's why you should check out ASPCA, Pet Health Insurance. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier for pet parents like you to help get your pet the care they may need. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program has been around for over 18 years. They've helped more than 600,000 pets during that time. They allows you to customize your plan, helping ensure that your pet's plan is as unique as they are. Vet bills can really add up, especially when you're least expecting it. It's simple. Use their app to submit a claim. You'll receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/JRVP. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or a United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and not engaged in the business of insurance.
And that was
ad copy.
Let's get to my favorite corner. It's email corner.
Email corner. Emails are a thing. Email corner. It's email corner.
Guys, emails, much like food poisoning, are very much a thing. Only one of them makes you hop out of bed at 5 a.m. just to go sit down aggressively. We've got 3 emails. Greg tried to sneak 4 in, and I was like, you know what? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to bleed. I'm too busy pooping.
Yeah, email us at jrvpjuniorvicepresident@gmail.com. Go ahead and review us on iTunes, too, while you're at it. And, yeah, you can send us ideas for the weeks that we're going to be gone. I still like that segment ideas. Or send emails. One of our emails this week, by the way, said, tell Greg he doesn't have to dance. Anthony makes him dance. Anthony does not make me dance.
I don't make him. Can't make Greg dance.
Right, that I look like Anthony makes me dance. That's a bad sign. First email from Dan from Winnipeg. Big fan, never miss an episode. My girlfriend calls JRVP my, quote, woke bro podcast. Curious if you like being described that way. And if you don't like it, do you react more negatively to the woke part, the bro part, or the combination of them together?
I'll go. You answer first.
Okay.
I definitely have an answer for this.
I think we're ready for a rebrand. I love it. The Woke Bro podcast. Like, this is it. We lean into it. We're the woke bros.
I would love to do that, except that Aaron drags us down.
Right.
We're woke bros, but Aaron is a conservative beta. Is that how you described yourself, Aaron, the first day we met?
Yeah.
You're conservative beta.
Yep.
So I don't know if Aaron could do it, but the term woke originally meant like educated in what you were talking about. You know, are you woke? Do you know the statistics of what you're preaching on here? And then it became like an insult. And it's one of those insults that I despise, which is the blanket, like zero creativity. Oh, it's woke. That people, like the dumbest people just say all the time. If I hear someone be like, "Oh, it's woke," I in that tone, I write them off forever. Bro, I don't care. Bro, do I think of myself as a bro? No, but I understand how 99.9% of the world would. You less so. But it's also one of those terms.
I'm less of a bro?
Yes. It's also one of those terms that if you get mad about it, it's lame. You know, but yeah, you want to call me a bro, great. The woke bros, I am super cool with. I defy anyone else to compare themselves to us and be as woke a bro as we are. Aaron, would you say that trying to talk to us about current events is like trying to stare directly into the sun?
Yeah.
That we're so woke that it's like it hurts your whole face?
Yeah. The term enlightened isn't big enough. It's not grand enough.
No.
Yeah, I've been on a journey with the word woke, you know, initially until this email really. If someone uses the word woke, I think less of you. Mm-hmm. Well, usually I just think you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. But then sometimes you'll see people that you like are now using woke in certain contexts, and then I just think less of you. You went down 1%.
Here's what you say to your girlfriend next time you're in the car and you're cranking JRBP. And listen, when I say cranking, I mean as high as it can go, in that you're not going to be able to listen to other things after the pod because you're going to fuck up your whole system. That's the way it was, Aaron, back me up. That's the way it was meant to be listened to in the car, right?
Yep.
Windows up, crank to hell, hurt yourself.
Towards Milwaukee. It's like Mecca, Milwaukee. Next time you're in the car with her cranking it, and she goes, "Oh, is this the Woke Bros podcast?" Say close. Anti-woke bros, and then slam your car into a tree. That would be the ultimate way to get her back.
Okay, yeah.
For trying to assume something about it, because are we woke bros? Yeah, we are. We're anti-woke bros.
I was thinking woke bros is a way to take the power back. This has been almost a slur at this point, a pejorative. Woke, and this is a way for us to own it. And I take issue with you saying I'm not a bro. If you're a bro, I mean, maybe you're higher on the bro meter.
Yeah,
because you didn't recommend, Past Lives last week or whatever. But Past Lives is amazing. I'm gonna rewatch it. And I'm a bro. There are different types of bros.
Let me tell you about Past Lives for a second. I've been waiting to watch it. I've been wanting to watch it. Liz was gone for 2 weeks, and I waited. And then guess what Liz watched on the fucking plane coming home Sunday? Like I'm some kind of asshole.
Did she like it?
Yeah. So that was great.
It's so good.
I said I would love it.
I was regretting that I didn't explain it well enough. But I am a bro. We're literally fraternity brothers. So Woke bros.
I'm fine with being
merch.
called a woke bro as long as you know I'm an anti-woke bro.
Our next email is long.
I'm dangerous.
So, so if you need to take a break, Anthony, like now is the time to go shit your pants. This email from Jess takes a while, but she has to set up a question. Your advice is greatly needed. She's 35 years old, Jess. Her niece is 17. She snuck out of the house, the niece, that she shares with her father at 2 a.m., stole his copy of her keys, because her keys have an air tag, drove an hour away to meet and have sex with a stranger she met on Snapchat. She called my mom, who's her grandma, at 2 a.m. because a cop found them parked in a parking lot of an auto shop in the back seat. There was a condom in the seat. She was in violation of her restricted driver's license. You're not supposed to be out past 9 p.m. My mom, my sister, niece's mom, and my other 10-year-old niece had to drive an hour away in the middle of the night to pick her up. The cop drove the boy home. They've been assured the boy appeared to be around her age, so like that wasn't an issue. The niece doesn't have any remorse or understanding of how much danger she's putting herself in. This is her third strike, according to her mom. I know she previously lied about going to the gym and instead meets up with different strangers to have sex. I don't know the specifics of other incidents. From what I can tell on her snapshot, she's obsessed with her body count. That was in quotes. His friends with a lot of people she doesn't know in real life, and is also sending half-naked Snapchats to her entire contact list because she sends them to me, her aunt, and to my mom, her grandma. What do we do? Where do we begin? She's in counseling already, but she doesn't see anything wrong with her behavior.
This feels like the kind of thing we should have deal with in the studio. Get her down here.
Yeah.
Get her in here. Aaron, I assume there's an all things comedy budget for things like that.
I wouldn't assume that.
Once you guys finish building the walls in here, we can get her a bus ticket.
It's like once they invest in the nail to put poor Elizabeth Wurtzel back on the wall, it's like, how hard can it be to get Wurtzel up there?
Yeah, I know.
She's in the corner.
She's our Jesus. She needs to be on the crucifix. That's where Jesus was most comfortable. Anyway, having a daughter seems terrifying. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
You just have to wait until she gets pregnant. That's all that's going to slow her down. And you hope that it's the father is not too much of a disaster. But this is uncontrollable. You can try to explain to her that she's making the rest of the family's lives miserable, but she's a hellcat. She's a girl, Aaron.
Yep.
She's a girl, Aaron, and she's going to go out there and get that body count jacked up through the roof. There's nothing you can do because you can't just say you're on your own. She must be hot. She must be like sexy enough that you're going to be taken advantage of out there. I've got sisters.
Well, why are you assuming that? I feel like look, on some level, it's the one thing that's easier for women is if they want to have sex, they can find it more easily. So it's not that you have to be some incredibly beautiful girl. You just have to be a girl that wants it.
You have to
you'll find some weirdos.
Yes, you'll be 17 years old and someone will get you what you want. If I asked my dad for money, he was like, no, go get a job. If my sisters asked him for money, he would be like, I got to make sure you're not getting this from someone else. I get that. This one is a lost soul. You need to just get her pregnant. That's the only thing that's going to stop her. Get her pregnant. And then watch her sink like a stone. I want to know what the other two strikes were.
Jesus.
What were the two strikes?
Well, I think the other strikes were similar. I by the context of it, were just similar things happen.
Yeah, she's an Aerosmith video. There's nothing you can do.
Similar.
There's nothing you can do.
Meetups happen. I push back a little when people are like, oh, having a daughter must be a nightmare, blah, blah, blah. I have a daughter, and I just think I don't think it's that different between boys or girls. A boy or a girl could have this going on and that you wouldn't know what to do with it. And you're just hoping that that's not your son or daughter for sure. But I would say the way to, it feels like it's not like it's too late, but the way to deal with it is just, I don't know, make them feel good about themselves when they're growing up. So I don't know, but maybe this is just in you. And it's just what you want to do. I don't know. I have no answer to this.
I would take a page out of the old book of Islam and start winging some rocks around. What's our next question?
I chose this
She's
one.
also a bit of a time traveler. She left her house at 2 a.m., drove an hour, and got caught at 2 a.m.
Well, you know,
impossible.
let's not pick apart
They sent the email.
the timeline. I also didn't understand how her sister, there's the nieces. I don't know why that broke my brain. There's a lot of nieces, a lot of grandmas in this. Good luck. I would say, as my mom always would say, and it would drive me freaking crazy, it's probably a phase. You know, it'll end at some point. So just know that.
Her trying to get railed as much as she can and sending naked photos to her whole family. She's 17. Something happened to her. Hey, I bet she talks like a little girl. I'm guessing.
I mean, what kind of 17-year-old doesn't know how to use Snapchat to the point you're sending the nudes to your grandma and your niece? That seems like that's a red flag as much as anything. Just because, like, what's going on here? It's sloppy. Let's get it together. Last question's from Esther. She says, so you're dead and stuck in limbo. You have one chance to either charm or repel either receiver at both Heaven's Gate and Hell's Door. What exchange would transpire between you and the two gatekeepers? Keep in mind what you say could sway their opinion or your entry, or could make your final stay there work to your advantage.
Okay, so you're in limbo.
Yeah.
To your left is heaven, and it's guarded. To your right is hell, it's guarded. Do you want to try to say anything? Do you want to wait and just see how it sifts out? Or do you want to try to turn and talk to them, either talk to heaven or talk to hell, and see if that'll push you one way or another?
Yeah, I thought it was like you have to talk to both of them, but yeah, something like that. What exchange would transpire?
I've only got one move here, and I'm using it.
Okay.
I'm going to be like, you guys comedy fans? And whatever happens, happens. I don't know if hell's going to be like, oh, sweet, we're big fans, come with us. Or if heaven's going to be like, oh, you're great, but we can't have you here. Like, whatever the consequences of them finding out that I am, in fact, the big dog, then I'm gonna roll the dice and then see what happens.
Yeah, you can get the longer answer.
I don't want to go to hell if people there don't know who I am. What's the point? I don't want to go to heaven if people don't recognize me for my stand-up comedy and then leave me alone. That's what heaven is to me. Heaven is me and my dog and that 17-year-old girl.
So, like, hell would be like you have to reestablish like your fan base enough to do theaters, or what do you mean?
Hell's the same thing. Me, the dog, and the girl. But everyone speaks Spanish except me.
Hell, I mean, I think I just would be like, look, I've been good. There was like that one thing I did that was fucked up, but Anthony forgave me. That was like 25 years ago.
I feel like for hell, you could be like, hey, are you guys comedy fans? And then if they were like, yeah, we're big comedy fans, be like, oh, you know Jeselnik? And if they like see how they go with it, like, I have a podcast with him, or I went to college with him, you could do one of those. Heaven, I feel like you would just
I would tell him, like, look, I didn't believe in you this whole time. I thought this was all bullshit. I could have been way worse. I was still pretty nice to the people around me. Didn't cause much trouble. I'm pretty calm. Nice family. We all spend a lot of time together. And that was all thinking you didn't exist. Think how good I would have been if I thought you did.
What about, that's not bad. That's not a bad way to get in. What about, Aaron, what do you think would work better? What Greg just said, or offering to suck God's dick? Do you think that would get it? Or do you think threatening God? If you don't let me in here, I'm going to kick all your angel asses. Do you think that would work?
Yeah, it's prison rules up there. You know? Fight the first angel you see.
If you kicked all the angels' asses and then sucks God's dick against his will, then I think now you're cooking with gas.
Now you're God.
Now you're God.
Yeah.
Now you're deciding who's going into heaven and hell. Great question. Great question.
Love it, Esther. Thank you so much.
And that was Email Corner. Emails. Things. We really change lives on this podcast when you think about it. When you think about the people who ask us questions deeply in need, don't have anyone else to turn to except the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP. Junior Vice President.
And then we just solve their fucking problems. That little girl is at home right now, just smiling, not wearing any makeup, just smiling, being happy, thinking about the baby she'll have one day after college.
I mean, as the dad of the two, I feel bad about the lack of help I personally gave her.
When she's 17,
as you would say, as the one with children,
you gotta chain her to a radiator like Samuel L. Jackson. That's what happens when you're 17. If you catch her at 14, maybe you got a chance, drive her out into the country, homeschool her. But 17, she's gone. Get a new one. They're getting off the bus every 20 minutes.
What movie
down near
is
where
that
Aaron
again?
lives.
Hot Snake Moan?
Black Snake Moan.
Black Snake Moan. See, I don't get them all, but I got that one.
Always reminded me of a joke I wrote for Sarah Silverman when she had to introduce Samuel L. Jackson at the MTV Movie Awards. This next presenter kicked snakes off a plane, chained Christina Ricci to a radiator, and he's also an actor.
Our first headline,
Oh, hang on.
because that's what we're in.
Let's get the headlines.
Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines.
Thank you, Aaron. That could have been a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been like driving all the way home from school and then seeing that you left your baby on the roof of the car. It would have been like doing that again, Aaron.
True.
What's our first headline?
It's about a man in Toronto. On 2 separate occasions, Tony Seffer of Toronto tricked 2 men into believing that they were talking to a woman online and invited them over to his home to have anonymous sex, as one does, through a hole in a sheet hanging in a doorway. And he would have gotten away with it too. If it wasn't for that meddling man who pulled the sheet down and revealed a cowering Mr. Sfer in a wig on the floor.
And so what happened to him?
Well, he was arrested.
What are the charges?
They're pretty serious. They are sexual assault. 28 months in prison he was sentenced to, 14 months for each count of sexual assault.
I mean, it sounds like he can do the prison term standing on his head. He's going to be fine. When I heard the story, when I saw the story, it was like chills, like true goosebumps. Because my worst nightmare would be getting arrested for doing this to people. Listen, the sheet is a sacred thing. I feel like that if you pull it down, there's no citizen's arrest after that. I'm free to go. So I don't know. I don't know why you would press charges. Why you wouldn't be like, hey, I'm not cool with the wig and the sheet and what you did. You lied to me. Mm-hmm. But I don't want anyone to know. So let's call it even.
So you're saying, it's sort of understood in the having sex through a hole in the sheet community that it's like, if it gets pulled down, it's Scout's honor. I don't know. You don't take it away. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
If you're agreeing to go have sex with someone you have not seen through a sheet,
it's on you.
Whatever it is you don't want them to look like, they look like that. They have lied to you.
Okay, the judge in the case disagreed with you. She said, I mean, it is crazy that it really is about being misled, that they thought it was a woman and then that was okay. And since that they were misled, that is the problem. That doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, they thought they were online to a woman and were going over to her home for a quote glory hole scenario, which is typically how people engage through anonymous sex. They walked into the home, they put their penises into the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Sex.
That's step one.
Right. Oral sex was performed. And at that point, that doesn't, like, them being different than you expected. That's the risk you take, I would think, but I guess not. But then it became penetration without warning, which both victims believed was anal.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be.
It was.
Chances are, like, there's no third thing it can be. It's either oral or it's anal or it's nothing. Nothing's happening to you. Yeah, that's a problem. That's bad. That is sexual assault. So yeah, don't do that. You got like as a comic, you walk right up to the line and then you pull back. You know what I mean? This guy went over. He crossed the line. Aaron.
Yep.
He crossed the line
Towards Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a few weeks since we had a story about someone putting an object up their butt.
Has it?
So, I mean, maybe 2. So we're due. This time a Texas man was accused of putting different antique items at an antique store in his anus while wearing a kilt.
Great story. Listen, if you were like me, you've already read about the story. You've seen the video. It is fantastic. I love it. When people do weird things like this, I would compare it to airdropping your penis to everyone on the airplane. You know what I mean? You're doing it. You're like, I'm a dirty little freak. I'm going to do dirty little freak things. It's kind of harmless, but it's also like super so fucking gross that I feel like I'm bad. But you see the guy in the video and he's just trying to act normal.
Yeah.
As he's walking around just grabbing things, like walking away, putting up his butt, putting it back. And so when you know that they're watching him the entire time, it becomes truly hilarious. I assume anyone who wears a kilt or has worn a kilt does this in every store they go into.
That's what kilts are for, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what kilts are for. Is it, Aaron, Google that. Is that correct?
That's what kilts are for.
Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
I liked it. Yeah, otherwise you're just wearing like a skirt without any underwear
The
on.
embarrassment of getting caught he must have thought about ending his own life in that moment.
I mean, not as much as the guy cowering while wearing a wig after the guy did the Scooby-Doo trick and pulled the thing down.
I think he's been secretly hoping for that the whole time. He wants to get caught. He wants the humiliation. That's how I would do it if I was doing something like that.
I guess so. This 60-year-old, and we do have a picture of him if you want to take a look. We did not have the video. I did not watch the video, Anthony, but we do have a picture of him that we can look at. He put up a makeup brush, an antique bottle opener, and a tobacco tent can, which I don't know what that means. But yeah, he looks about what you would look like.
I mean, just think about how many times he's done this without getting caught.
Right. Right. He's 60 years old. He's been doing it for decades. I love this story because he was in it for the love of the game. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't try to steal any objects. No. I thought that was it at first. He would just stick them up his ass and then return them to the shelves. And they weren't, like, really worth that much. They had a total value of like $250, but the antique store sued them. They were mad because they had to throw away the objects because of fecal matter. And to that I said, like, have you ever heard of soap? We can't fix this.
I think it adds to the story. You know, when you're buying the antique, you're buying the story behind the antique. And if you were like, hey, we've got a bunch of things over here. Hey, oh, you're interested in that candlestick? Well, guess what? How do you feel about kilts? I would buy that one.
Right.
It's like, it's a masterpiece.
Have you ever heard of Lysol? Yeah, and you saying you watched the video, it explains a lot to me with porn being blocked in South Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the best I could do. That's the best I could do was that guy. It was a rough weekend. And now it's time for
ad copy.
It is time. It's demon time. It's demon time on Prize Picks. You can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into 1,000. So what's demon time? Demons and goblins' newest, most exciting way to play at Prize Picks. Squares marked with red demons or green goblins get you different payouts. You can now win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. You can play alongside Prize Picks' favorite players like rapper Meek Mill or comedian Andrew Schultz. You can do anything you want, even have injury insurance. So what Prize Picks is, it's like a daily fantasy sports platform where you're picking what that player is going to do that night, whether he's going to have more or less a certain amount of points, rebounds, assists, whatever it is. You play it that night. You're either right or you're wrong. You find out if you win, and they're the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. It's very simple to play. You can make your pick, submit your entry in less than 60 seconds. We got a little Celtics Warriors coming up this weekend. I've got a little prize pick action for you. I'm going more on Derek White points, Derek White assists. I'm going big on Derek White. Go to prizepicks.com/JRVP. Use the code JRVP for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/JRVP. Use the code JRVP for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Finally, this show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Therapy has been helping Anthony out for years. If you think of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. BetterHelp can help you learn positive coping skills, can help you learn how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. You fill out a brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist. If you're not feeling that therapist, switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Therapy makes a big difference in so many lives. Become your own soulmate, whether you're looking for one or not. Visit betterhelp.com/JRVP today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JRVP.
And that was
Ad copy.
Let's get back to headlines.
I want to throw this one by, Anthony, a little different than we normally do in the headlines. It's just an actual news story by the Insider, Hollywood reporter that said this week Lionsgate is interested in making an American Psycho reboot. It would be a modern-day reboot of the original. Your thoughts?
Listen, I love Bret Easton Ellis. Anything that can be based on his work, like, I'm all about it. I support it, even if I will not watch it. I did not see
You're gonna watch it.
Yes, but I did not see American Psycho 2.
That's different. That was direct to movie and not connected.
And if you hadn't interrupted me, you would have gotten the point.
Well, I can't see your eyes. I don't know what they're saying.
You need to see my eyes to see where the sentence is going?
Yeah.
I didn't see American Psycho 2, but I'm happy they're making it. I'm happy they made those things. That a reboot, it's like an opportunity to get something new out of the novel. I thought the first movie with Christian Bale, I really kind of taught people that it was a funny book and that it wasn't as serious as critics were led to believe. So I'm all for it. Do I think it's going to be good? No, I do not. I think it'll depend on who they choose as the Psycho. You're not doing better than Christian Bale. He was the greatest. And if they try to make it modern day, it's got to be in the 80s. So that doesn't make sense. Are they trying to make it?
They're going to make it like with Tech Bros or something. Like Bret Easton Ellis has even talked about it. And it has aged well. The movie's aged incredibly well, but even the ideas in the book have aged well. Yeah. And you would just apply it to like the modern version of it. And there's
then I'm into it, but I'm sure I don't know my hopes up. But please, by all means, take a shot at that. A Silicon Valley American Psycho is something I would sign up for. But I'd rather read a book about it than see a movie trying to capitalize.
I remember seeing this movie and laughing in the theater, and like almost no one else was laughing. And it's crazy to see now. One of the articles about this movie, reboot was like American Psycho is recognized as one of the greatest movies of this century now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and I agree. Mm-hmm. And it's hilarious, and it's a unique sort of slasher, but is saying something, but is very funny. There's not many movies like it, because at the time, no one thought that. I thought that, so I just want credit for knowing right off the bat it was a classic, even more than Jeselnik.
More than me, please.
Yeah. I was laughing at that. I'm just saying. And then I went and looked. I went and looked at Metacritic. I was like, it didn't even get good reviews at the time. It has a 65 on Metacritic. So that gives you an idea. And yet it's aged amazingly. I thought the movie was better than the book as an experience, because the book is just so much to get through. And it is an amazing adaptation. Maybe like the best adaptation ever, because it got the essence while kind of simplifying it, making it punchy.
A perfect movie. And the versions that could have been made, like the Oliver Stone, Leonardo DiCaprio version would have been terrible. That I'm very happy with it. But you go put more money in Bret Easton Ellis' pocket. I dare you.
Last headline.
Family members of the residents at Whitegates Care Center in Surrey, England, were furious a few weeks back after a local funeral home sent everyone in the nursing home Valentine's Day cards for the holidays.
Aaron, get your finger ready, because this funeral home in England is our JRVP Listeners of the Week.
The JRVP listener. The JRVP listener. The JRVP listener of the week.
I love it. I think they're thinking outside the box and inside the box at the same time. Did it just the one funeral home complain and they send it to multiple? Because if they only send it to one, then there's beef. If you're sending it to all the old folks' homes, then it's a funny thing.
Well, I think that's a good question. There's probably more than one nursing home in the area, but it seemed like it was one that had some sort of relationship with that nursing home already, that they say they do charity or they do stuff. They're part of the community, and yeah, they sent it to them. I don't know if they sent it to everyone.
I mean, what were they mad about?
People were upset. Like,
were they mad that it was just a Valentine, or did the Valentine say, like, this Valentine's Day, suck my dick?
well, like, what would the Valentine's Day thing that would, that you would get in a nursing home that would upset you from a funeral home? Like, hey, see you soon. Or your love puts us underground, or something like that.
It'd be one of those two. Aaron, put those on T-shirts and get them on T-Public.
See you soon.
Watch the money roll.
How about death is inevitable? Spend it with us.
Be mine.
With like a little Grim Reaper.
Yeah, like worms eat your eyes. That's what I would say.
I think the people were upset. One woman said, "We managed to hide it away from Mom. It would have been devastating for her. I mean, Mom's got to grow a
Mom would have been okay with it. And it's like, whoever breaks the news that they all got them ruined it. You could be like, hey, here's a Valentine. They're happy to hear from anyone. Yeah. They read that Valentine, they're like, cool. And it's like, oh no, everyone got one, and you're supposed to be mad about it. They're thrilled that the fucking funeral home sent them a Valentine's Day card. They don't care what it says. Tell them it's from their nephew. They're not going to know shit.
They did defend themselves, the funeral home, saying like they liked it. Most of them liked it, but the family members said it was an appalling stunt, and they were targeting vulnerable elderly people. But it's not like they're the ones putting themselves in the funeral home. They'll be gone by then.
Look, when you get mad at a funeral home, there's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? Ascend into heaven? No. You're still going to die, and they get your body. So either donate that shit to science or shut the fuck up and enjoy your Valentine. Losers. And now it's time for Choo-choo Recommendation Station.
Let's land this plane. I'm going to recommend a book. It's called Master Slave Husband Wife. I listened to it as an audiobook. It's by Elon Wu. I should check that. I should have written that down. It was really good. It was based on a story of a husband and wife who escaped slavery in the South. The wife dressed up as a white man and brought her husband in real life with him, acting as her slave. And it's kind of their adventure getting up through the North, and then what happens after that as they become like abolitionist speakers and everything. And I'm not usually a historical, nonfiction type of book, but it's a great narrative. Like it's an adventure on some level, while also kind of sneaking in the vegetables of, like, you learned a lot about it and how their lives changed in Massachusetts when the fugitive slave law was passed. But again, the writing in it is really incredible and kind of carries it through to the point where, like, I wanted to get through it fast to find out not just what happens, but just learn about it. It was a fascinating couple. And it's one of those stories that at the time they thought, well, everyone's going to know about this forever. It was a huge national story that, like, you would think would be told in history books like Harriet Tubman, and is not, for very interesting reasons too, I think, which is worth checking out. Master Slave Husband Wife.
So it's fiction, like a fictionalized version of it? Or it's nonfiction. Okay. Interesting. I'll check it out. My book this week is a book that I read. I heard about this book 5-10 years ago, a guy named David Carr, who was a reporter for the New York Times, famous reporter, died. And I've been hearing about this book he had written about his years of addiction and recovery called The Night of the Gun. People are like, it's like the best memoir about recovery. And I read it this weekend while I was on the road and loved it. That's the Night of the Gun by David Carr. He died a few years ago. The book came out, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago now. But it's a great book. It's a junkie memoir. I think he would even describe it as that. But he's a brilliant guy. And it gets annoying hearing junkies almost like half brag about the shit they did and how they got clean. And there's certainly a lot of that in there, especially toward the end. But he seemed like a great guy, and it's a great book to read. Read it if you had to deal with someone who has addiction issues, or you have them and you're looking to give it up, or if you just kind of want a little more empathy for those people. The Night of the Gun by David Carr. Aaron, you got anything you want to recommend?
Yeah, I saw our movie, ATC's movie, Drugstore June.
Yes, how is it? I haven't seen it yet.
It's great. It's very funny. Yeah, Esther is great and is the lead. Bobby Lee is great in it. Trevor Wallace has a small part that's very freaking funny.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I like Esther.
And
it's going wide in March. So
oh, cool.
Yeah.
So is it in
cities?
Is it in theaters now?
It's only in New York and LA for the moment.
Okay.
But it's going wide.
New York and LA going wide soon. It'll be on, on demand and stuff. Yeah, check it out. A lot of funny people in there. I'm a big fan of Esther's. Love Bobby. Al Madrigal, the co-founder of
Bill
All Things
and
Comedy.
Al are both in it.
What?
Bill's in it too.
I asked him if he was in it, and he was like, "No, I didn't do that movie."
You think he knows?
Motherfucker. All right, Walker. Get me out of here. Get me back in the bathroom, Walker.
Whoa, Nelly Furtado, that's a spicy meatball.